What is up? It's your boy jonni.shreve. I have BB Promise and tell like it is, guys. Welcome back to another gut check. Before we get started, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. A lot of you guys are watching but not subscribing, so make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm going to give you some vulnerable gold all the time, whether it's training or just life experience stuff that I think that people can actually, take home. Anyway, what does a voice in your head sound like? You guys are like, what? I'm serious. What does a voice in your head sound like? It's the voice that you talk to, that you reason with, that you say your darkest secrets to. It's the voice that knows you, that you argue with, that you come to reason with, whatever it is. You know what that voice is. You know everyone has that voice. That voice is basically you. And how that you talks to you is gonna play a huge role in how you progress in your mental health or just life in general. And I'm always gonna speak through experience. So here's where I come with. Okay, so again, diagnosed by borderline personality disorder. I've always thought about this question because the question was asked to myself, and it was like, what does a voice in your head sound like? And it was a mix of like, could never please dad and a coach who was just hard on you and just chirps you and just like, you could never, nothing you did was right or good enough. Like, it was always just kind of like putting you down to kind of bring you up kind of thing. And the funny thing is in my life, it's like my father was that kind of guy. He wasn't a guy to be like, oh, he didn't go to school. He wasn't one of those people who were like, your grades weren't good enough kind of thing, or you didn't do this good enough in sports. He put us in sports, and when we won games, we could see the pleasure in his face. Anything about my father was more like, you could always work harder at what you're doing, you know what I mean? And then my coaches are probably the biggest reason why I'm alive right now, to be honest. If it wasn't for my coaches in high school, and I still talk to them today, when I went home, I visited them. If it wasn't for them, I would definitely be either in jail or dead. And so that voice in my head, me, created this type of encouragement to myself for years. So very recently, I indulged. And for me, when you indulge, you put on a lot of water really quick. I know for a fact it's not fat. Whatever it is, take the median, whatever. And I'm sitting there in my head, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're better than this. It's like, you're fat. Come on, man. This looks terrible. All the work we put in, your subs gonna think about you now. Oh, you're fat. Oh, the people are gonna start calling you fat. Are you stupid? I can't believe you really? You ate that? Really? Honestly? And then I immediately was like, I'm like, shut up. Like, shut up. And I started like saying facts back to myself. I started saying like, okay, first of all, you ate, 2 days in a row and you've basically been on deficit for the last 9 weeks. Also got sick, depleted. You're gonna feel the effects of water and any kind of rebound really fast, obviously, but it's not fat. What are you talking about? Shut up. Why are you making this weird? Why are you making food weird? What are you doing? Relax. And that's the type of thing that goes on in my head most of the time. And I'll be honest. And I think everybody does. It's just like how we talk to ourselves really does determine how you're gonna progress in anything that you do. There's this sweet quote. I remember this quote I was hearing from Will Smith a bit ago, and it made so much sense. And he says, so if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, now you're gonna kick yourself in the balls? You know what I'm saying? Like, the world's already shitting on you and you wanna shit on yourself even more. It doesn't matter what kind of diagnostics you got, mental health or whatever it is. I don't care if you have a normal mind, whatever you want to call it, or a very hypersensitive mind. I don't really care. Everybody who's watching this channel right now, everybody, I would say 99% of the people who are watching this are all on here because they want to achieve something. Something. I don't care if it's I want to build muscle, I want to lose fat, I want to do both, I want to lean bulk, I just want to learn. Whoever is watching, who is subscribed to this channel, is trying to achieve something. And in that journey, trying to achieve something, we are our own coaches in our heads. We're the first person to say something about our success and our failures or whatever we do. We're the first person to. Sometimes we don't catch it. There's been all those things in my life that have taken from me for so long that to the point where I can't take an easy compliment from somebody because the voice in my head, me, is saying, you're not really worth that compliment. Well, I don't know. Yeah, thanks. Hey man, you look really good. Well, I mean, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's not being humble because before I would disguise humility with just not being able to let somebody reward me or bless me with confirming what I've been doing has been working. If the world's gonna shit on you already, and it is, why are you gonna shit on yourself even more? And that's what you gotta ask yourself. What's the voice in your head sound like that's there for encouragement in times of need or whatever it is? When you're just talking about life to yourself, how does that person respond? With empathy, encouragement, love, Or are they beating you down? What are you, stop being a pussy. What are you talking about? Man, everybody doesn't like you. Like, what voice are you letting? Because you gotta understand one thing, that voice is you. And I have to do this stuff because mental health is something you have to manage to the right. It just doesn't go away. It doesn't just go away. It's something you have to manage. And that's everybody, because if we're conscious of what we do, we have to manage how we do things. But for me, it's a case where I have to manage these things, and I do, but I know that I'm in control, and that's what gives me power over me falling into or spiraling downhill. Because I have to right away understand, like, what I'm saying about myself is me saying it. There's no one else saying it. People just didn't jump in my head from outside and start saying anything. It's me creating whatever filter I want to create and whatever world I want to create and live in, and then that's me projecting it to myself. You understand that? This is us. So think about it. Like, what does a voice sound like in your head? And if it is someone who's just beating you down, you can never be good enough, your accomplishments or whatever, you can't even take a thank you or an acknowledgement from someone saying you worked hard. Change how you think about yourself, how you see yourself, how you want people to talk about you, think about you. You have total control over that. So I thought I'd say that. Before we keep moving on to videos and everything else, we have to sometimes sit there and have a gut check and really listen to how we are talking to ourselves in our heads. What's that voice sound like? Is he encouraging? Is she encouraging? Is the circle encouraging? Or are they constantly just beating you down over and over and over again? Beating you down to kind of try and bring you up. Everyone's got one of those buddies who's always got to chirp you, but just can't just say, hey man, good job. Does it sound like one of those guys? The buddy your head is like, yeah, man, you stupid motherfucker, you dumbass, you can't do. Why can't it just be what you need? So think about that. You have control over how you view yourself and how you speak about yourself. And I can promise you, when you change the way you think and speak about yourself, you watch your world change and everybody start treating you this way you want to be treated. I bet you anybody. Watch, just try it. Just try it. Anyway, guys, I would just share with you guys, man. I'm always going to come with it. Tell it like it is, transparent, vulnerable truth. Guys, for coaching, jonni.shreve.com. Get over there ASAP. And guys, check it out. Use my code Johnny15 for 50% off the Power 13 cookbook. Still, yes, the good recipes in there. And use my code Johnny for 50% off fitarmy.com. Guys, add me on Instagram at _JonnyShreve_ everything that will be up there will be the latest things that are going on. Start really pumping things out so you guys know what is about to happen and whatever, so you guys don't miss a thing. Also, send me some of your progress pics, some of your training clips, some of your video clips, foodie pics, training clips, whatever it is. Send me it over, guys. I'll repost it for you, because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace. And he's like, where is that? He's like, coming, where'd it go? Did I not go in there? Give me 1 second. I gotta get it. I gotta get that quote. I'll be right back.